Hey peeps, good morning or afternoon. Today you guys are going to work on writing exponential functions day 2. Um, it should look like paper 18 up here in the corner, so obviously make sure that the sub passed out the right paper to you. So this does look like yesterday's, however it is different. So yesterday's we did kind of basic interest. Today we're working on compound interest. Okay, and take a second and pause the video. Here are your notes. So we have A equals P1 plus or minus the R over N to the NT power. And the parentheses are important today. So again, pause the video. A is going to be that final amount. That was our Y yesterday. P is that starting amount. Where you're going to see some differences is that N, really. So the R, again, should be as a decimal. That's our rate. Our N is going to be our number times compounded every however many times in a year. Okay, and then our T over here is in years. So we have N on here twice, and it should be like that. Okay. Again, if there's not enough calculators, download that Desmos Scientific Calculator app on your iPad. So the difference between compound interest and basic interest is really they're rechecking your money that's deposited multiple times a year. Otherwise, they're only checking it like once a year. So obviously, the more times they check it, the more money you're going to have, and so on. Okay, so compound interest is definitely the way to go. The more times they check it throughout the year, the more money you're going to increase. Okay, so if we're looking at number 1, and again, I'm writing on the iPad, so I do apologize. So number 1, our initial amount is going to be, it says Maria invests $28,084 into a savings account with a fixed annual interest rate of 3%, compounded 3 times per year. What will the account balance be after 6 years? So our P is going to be 2884 parenthesis 1 plus, okay? Our R, okay, is going to be our rate. This is going to be our R. This is our P. Okay, and that's going to be 0.03. Okay, over our N, which it's compounded 3 times every year. So every year they're checking it 3 times. Okay, and then we got to the NT power. Okay, and this is our N. So it's going to look like 6 times 3. Okay, so that's what it should look like when you're writing it on the paper, and then I'm going to show you what it's going to look like on the calculator. Okay, so on the calculator, you're going to type in that 2884. Parenthesis 1 plus, and then you're going to hit your fraction button, whatever that looks like. Okay, on here it looks a little bit different. And then we're going to say 0.03. Hit that down and say 3. And then, so you see here, like I closed the parenthesis and it's not closed right, okay? So make sure you hit that over button and close that parenthesis where it belongs. And then you're going to hit your X to the empty box button, which is the power button. And you're going to have to say 6 times 3. Okay? And if your calculator won't do that, like the Desmos one will not, it keeps putting the 3 down there, you're going to have to do that 6 times 3 in your head, which is 18. Okay? So after 6 years of her checking, it's going to be, she would have in her bank account $3,449.60 I want to say 68 cents, but obviously if you round, but I feel like banks are not going to round. So either way, as long as you're getting that first couple digits right. Okay, and in this case, I'm going to say that 9 is going to round that 8 up to a 9. Okay, so that's how much she would have in her bank account after 6 years. Okay, Jamie invests $3,332 in a savings account with a fixed annual interest rate of 5%, compounded 2 times a year after 7 years. Okay, so we're going to say 3,332, 1 plus my rate is going to be 0.05 over my n, which is going to be 2. And then here, we're going to say 2 times 7, okay? And depending on your calculator, you either have to do the 14 or you say 2 times 7, okay? So, give me a second and I'll type this in, 3332. Okay, and I got, and somebody, hopefully you're double checking my math. It's going to be 0.3. Okay, so after 7 years, she's going to have $4,708.03. Okay, the next one we start out with 3,752, 1 plus 0.04 over 12, and then we got 12 times 20. Okay, so we got 3,752, 1 plus 0.04 over 12 to the 240. Okay, and again, that's how it should be looking on your calculator. Okay, mine has to say the 240 because I can't do the 12 times 20. So you can see I did 12 times 20 on the step above and got 240, and then went ahead and typed that into the formula. Okay, so I got 8339.13. Okay, and again, we're talking about money, so we should only be using those first 2 decimal places. Okay, so make sure that you're using accordingly. Okay, Jasmine invests $4,575. We're going to say 1 plus 0.07 over 4. They're checking our bank 4 times a year. And then we got 4 times 9. Okay, and sorry, but it takes me a little bit to type in on a calculator. 4575. Okay, and I got 8543.39. Okay, Lisa invests 2538. We got 1 plus 0.04. They're checking it 3 times a year. And then we got 3 times 20. They want to know after 20 years of checking it, what are we going to be looking like? Okay, I would say the hardest part about most of these is just typing them in, okay? It's going to be to the 60th power. Okay, and I got 5618.64. Okay, I'm just glancing over these. Shoot. Okay, the rest is for you guys to do. You got 15 of them to do. Go through and get them done. And I might see you Wednesday. If not, Wednesday's going to be a test review. So obviously, definitely listen and watch and take good notes on that because you can use that on your test. And hit me up if you need me.